Welcome to another episode of the WeakLEE Podcast. My guest with me tonight is somebody I play ball with. Another amazing shooter that I play with and play against. He also is the founder and creator of this hockey jersey I got on.
Thanks.
My partner Jay, call him J Rock, Mr. Rock Fresh. Introduce yourself, man.
Man, what's good, man? Just like you said, man, I'm J Rock, aka Rock, aka Rock Fresh, man. And I appreciate you having me, bro.
Ain't no problem, dog.
Love what you're doing with the WeakLEE Podcast, man. And I'm honored to be here, dog.
Right. So, how was you brought up? Like, how was your upbringing?
Man, it's crazy. People always be like, where you from, like in New Orleans, everybody from a specific ward, you know what I'm saying? And I always tell people, like, I'm from New Orleans. And then when they get into that, they be like, you ain't from New Orleans. And then I got to give them the whole rundown. So, like, my family, my mom, my dad, they from Uptown. My mom from the 12th ward. My dad from the 13th Money side. And they met when they was young kids, teenagers. They went to Cohen High School together. And, all my people, that's where they hail from.
Yeah.
But, for me, growing up, I grew up in Gentilly because my mom, my dad split when I was a baby. Like when I was a toddler, like when I was 3, we was staying in the 8th ward. And then kind of moved around with family, moved with my aunt uptown, then moved with my other aunt in Gentilly in the 7th ward. And I kind of really leveled foot in there for a minute. That was really kind of my foundation up until Katrina hit. And then after Katrina, we moved to Dallas for a little while, came back. My sister had a house on the West Bank, had to live there for a little minute. And then my grandma still had a house uptown, so I was back and forth between the two. Then my mama found a house in the 6th ward. And so I moved there. I was like 14, 15, and was in the 6th ever since, all the way up into my young adulthood.
Yeah.
So then, like, a lot of people like, oh, he from Gentilly, he from out the 7, he from out the 8. Then people know me from a different side of my life. Be like, oh, he from out the 6th ward. Like, I used to see him at Tremay Center hooping, right off in North Rome in the Domain, right by Peter Claver Church. And then, I got my uptown roots from, just my parents, my grandparents, and all my family. So that's why I tell people, bro, like, I'm from New Orleans.
Yeah, you're from the whole
I done
city,
lived
right?
everywhere. I stayed in the East. I had a little crib in the East for a little while in my young adulthood. Moved back to the 7th, stayed in the St. Bernard and Columbia Park. And shoot, now I stay in Pontchartrain Park.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I done done that, live everywhere, bro. So that's why I tell people, man, I'm from New Orleans, man.
How many siblings you had?
I got 2 older sisters. I'm the baby.
Yeah. How that
man.
was?
It was cool, it was spread out, so it got lonely at times. Like I always wanted like a brother or somebody to play with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because me and my sisters, like my oldest sister, she's like 51.
Oh, your oldest sister?
Yeah, my oldest. My second oldest is like, her and Wayne went to school together at McMain. They, however old Wayne is, they the same age. They was in the same
like
class.
42,
like late 40,
yeah.
early mid 40, something like that. So then you got me, I'm 32. So, my mom kind of had us spread out.
Yeah.
So, I grew up in a house with my second oldest sister, and my first oldest, she was like a mother to me when I was young. You know what I mean? She took me like I was her baby. And then, she moved out and spread her wings when I was still a little baby. So, it was really just me and my second oldest who kind of came up together, but we were still so far apart in age.
Right.
But I had cousins and stuff that was like brothers to me, and we, we played and grew up together and stuff like that.
Right.
So, yeah, man.
That's big though.
Yeah,
that's a big gap. That's some serious gaps, man.
Yeah, that's a big gap. Yeah, they was looking at my mom like, she was like, why you still doing that with dad? Like my dad, like my mom had me at like 35, 36, but she had my oldest sister at like 16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they just go to show you like how the gaps was with that. But yeah, man. So
But man, we're gonna talk about the beauty of life.
Facts.
So with family, how you feel like understanding with families and what they go through and their tendencies and how people act, their mindsets? How you feel like that affect everybody?
Man, that's a big question. I think it affects people in different ways, and I think a lot of things like people don't really understand is that like tendencies and behaviors is passed down genetically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like if if your daddy was a hothead and even if you tried to grow up different and be different and he didn't even raise you, but it's just in you.
Right.
Like because that's how he was. That shit is almost like a bloodline thing until you break it. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so you gotta be the one to be like, okay, I'm not gonna be a hothead. I know it's in me, but I'm gonna break that. I'm gonna break that cycle. So then when I have my son, he not gonna grow up hot headed. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like I think like people, family tendencies and things like that. I think like that's one thing that people are not cognizant of, like to really understand like this shit trickle down.
Mm-hmm.
Like so how you are right now in this present day is how your kids is gonna be and how they kids is gonna be unless you make that change right now. So yeah, so that's the biggest thing to me, looking at the beauty of life and the evolution of things. Like I look at my son and he have a lot of my ways already.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's that mirror. Like it hold up that mirror for me because like even when you try to feel like you're not wrong or you're not like that and people have told you about yourself and you like damn, then when I see him act like a certain way I'm like
Yeah, I
damn,
see
he
what they
really
talking
get
about.
that from me.
Yeah.
And that was a flaw that I had and I really see it. So now I'm looking at him like, how do I correct that now while he only 4 years old? He's holding that mirror up for me because I'm seeing my tendencies in him. How do I correct that now before he gets older and then have him a son? And it's the
The
same
same
thing.
thing.
You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, that's how I look
Cause
at it,
I
man.
know my hot hittingness, especially with my dad, how he be tripping out and all that. Like I have my moments too, and
Yeah.
it's just like I would yell, but I don't even be realizing I'm yelling half the time. But
Mm-hmm.
people like, nah, it's your voice, like your voice carry.
That high carry,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. Like my dad, it wasn't even really in my life, you know what I mean. And my
Mm-hmm.
mama said I walk like him, talk like him, act like him, and he ain't even raised me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that just go to show you that shit really trickled down, like it's in the bloodline.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, it's just a thing like to break it. Like my dad, he was an alcoholic and I swore not to be like that. So I don't, I drink, I have fun, but I don't do that to the extent where like I have an addiction.
Right.
He had a real addiction problem, so it's like stuff that I knew about him like that. I try to make sure like I break that,
Yeah.
So yeah, stuff like that, man.
Yeah. I could say that too, because my whole family drink. And like
Yeah.
I just got to this point to where I'm just like I've been chilling on it since New
Mhm.
Year's. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm really working to stop, but it's just like the fact of it's always around
Yeah, but
is
especially where
it's
we live
hard.
at, it's tough, bro. And I'm not drinking right now too, just off a spiritual thing. Like I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when the time comes again, when I can, I will, but I won't, be obsessive with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my family, like, we have a long time like addiction problem, not just alcohol, like drugs. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Our people, growing up in that crack era and heroin and all of that stuff, like my people done it all, and it's a blessing to see some of them like overcome it and be better and shake it, but you could tell like the long term effect it had on their life, and it's not nothing you want to play with. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like just yeah. So yeah, bro. That's real, though.
How grateful are you about being a dad, being a father?
Man, it's a beautiful thing, bro. Like I used to always have this thing like coming up because my dad wasn't in my life, so it was like I always say like there would be a hole in my heart like that'll never be filled, like that nobody could ever feel because I never had that experience, right?
Yeah.
And it was even tough on my wife too, because your partner is like they feel like, well, I complete you, like you know what I mean. I'm the missing piece to the puzzle, and that she is, but that part, being at that fatherhood part is just something that a woman can't feel in that way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even my mom, she tried everything in it, and I've had many father figures in my life, but it still wasn't my dad. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so I had to watch my dad die. Like me and my sister had to pull a plug on him. He was living in Detroit. We had to fly out there my senior year of college and basically like watch him die out. And so from there I was like, man, I missed my chance. And I was like stubborn, never wanted to talk to him, never wanted to like rekindle things. And he wouldn't really reach out to me. I think he probably felt ashamed and embarrassed too, just never really like being there for me.
Yeah.
But somebody got to be the bigger man, and I feel like neither one of us did that. But nonetheless, having my son, it filled that. you know, because then it was like, okay, I got to be a father to him for something that I didn't have. And it was scary too, because it's like, I don't even know what to do. Like I know I don't
Right.
have that example. Even though I had father figures, it's different, you know. So like seeing him, watching him grow, you know, loving him and raising him, man, that filled that hole in my heart, and where like I feel complete. You know, I have my wife, I have my son, and I'm good. But yeah, man.
Because me, what I'm most grateful for is the fact that I have the chance to be the father that I had in my life.
That's
Because my
real.
dad had been with me all my life.
Yeah.
And then once I found I was having a son, I'm like, all right, I got the chance to be what my dad was to me. And the
Facts.
things that I didn't really like or agree with that he did with me, I could do that with my son.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
like just me being really intentional with him, especially playing basketball now. Just me
Mm-hmm.
being his coach, and like my
Yeah.
dad was my coach growing up, and then once he stopped, it was like I know what it takes now when it comes to basketball and sports. Like my
Mm-hmm.
dad didn't really know.
Right.
He didn't know until my brother started playing and he got older, and then AAU and all
Mm-hmm.
them other things for him to really be looked at.
Yeah.
And now I see exactly how to do that with my son.
Right, right. It's like you filling in the gaps, filling in the holes.
Yeah.
Cause like I think about that now, like with my son, like me and my wife talk about it, like, cause you know, we know our parents raised us the best they could, but there's still areas where they fell short. And we look at like, okay, what areas we might fall short at that
Uh-huh.
he may have to pick up on and fill in his adulthood and, you know, him being a parent. And you know, it's like it's things we think about, but we not perfect, man. We
Yeah.
imperfect people, bro. And all we could do is try our best, man. But that's fire though, that you had your dad in your life. He was there for you. He tried his best, you know, show you how to play ball and, you know, train you and put you in that space and the opportunities that you had. And, you know, that's dope, bro. Cause that I used to watch my cousins, like everybody had their daddy took care of them. And, you know, I used to be on the sideline just looking in. But all my cousins' dads treated me like I was their son too. And I appreciated that. But I still knew, like, at the end of the day, when they was going home with their dad. I'm going
Right.
home with my mom, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, so that's a different thing. But I feel blessed to be able to, you know, get that to my son, like 2-parent household, and give him the fatherhood that I didn't have. So, yeah, bro, it's a blessing,
So
man.
with that being said, what has been the beauty of you going from dating to being a married man now?
You know what's crazy, bro? Like, you know, for a lot of people who don't know me, like I've been a relationship type of dude. You know, like most dudes you would find like most dudes not really built like that. You
Yeah.
know, most dudes out here doing their thing, you know, they dating, they playing the field, they, you know, talking to different chicks and, you know, living their life like you should. You know, you're a
Mm-hmm.
young man, you know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen, you know. But for me, like throughout my life, bro, like, man, I could tell you like I had a girlfriend in high school all the way till we were seniors. I had a girlfriend in college all the way till we were seniors, and then I met my wife.
Yeah.
And then we was together, and then we broke up for a second, and then we got back together, and then we've been together ever since. You know, but you know, throughout those different times where I've had the time to be single, be to myself, you know, I've dated different women and you know, I've had, you know, I had my share times and stuff like that, but I've always been someone who, like, I think just relationships was more of a fulfillment to me than like temporary like lust or like, you know, being with this chick and just, you know, having this situationship or this, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I always been that type of dude, you know, and people who really know me for that, like being in relationships. And it taught me a lot. I think it prepared me to be in a relationship I'm in now. But
What made you think you was like that?
you know, I'm just naturally like that, bro. I
Yeah.
don't know if it got something to do with, you know, me just looking at my mom and, you know, not having that dad and not like having that marriage or that relationship type of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
thing that to look at.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something that like I unintentionally, unknowingly long for or
Yeah.
wanted without even really knowing that that's what I wanted.
Right.
But that was just natural. That's just naturally been me. You
Right.
know what I mean? And I can't really explain. I don't know if it's like the cancer in me. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know. You know, like out of me and my partners, like you know, they would probably say like I'm like the Drake lover boy one, like I'm the one who would be in love and be in a relationship for years while they out here doing their thing,
Yeah.
living their life. I'm the one who out here look like he looking for a wife, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, and we always used to talk like, like yeah, I'll probably be the first one to get married and all that, and I am, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so it happened that way, but that was just me, bro. And like I feel like a lot of people like you can't really fake who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't come out here like, man, I used to fuck a lot of hoes. I used to do this. I was that nigga. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I was really used to be in relationships with different women for long periods of times. And this how and then I got to this point in my life where I am now.
Yeah.
And I'm good with that. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I'm satisfied, bro. I don't feel like, oh, I missed nothing or I missed out on nothing. Like,
Cause you know you didn't.
yeah, I didn't, bro. I didn't at all, man. Even the little short times I was on my own, I had my fun, bro. I did my thing, and it just showed me like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Like I see the lifestyle my partners was living, and yeah, that was fun. But there's no fulfillment in that. There's
Yeah,
no
for sure.
like forever in that. Like,
Cause you get tired of that because you ain't really moving in purpose.
yeah, bro.
Ain't
And
no
then like
purpose
I
in that.
had other people in my family who I knew who, and friends who like I just watched them move like that, and I just it's not like it's a never ending thing. Like it's to
Yeah.
me, it's like it's a lonely life, and it is no real like that completeness that I was talking about, that wholeness that I was talking about. You never gonna have that if you just keep chasing that little quick
Yeah.
little whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
For real.
that's just never been me, bro.
I've
You
been the same way, man. I've been a lover boy too. But it's just I went from being with somebody in high school, then we breaking up. Then I had my single phase where I was out here doing any and everything.
Right,
Then I got married. Then I got divorced. Back to doing
Oh,
everything.
you got married in divorce.
Yeah.
Damn.
Back to doing everything. Then now I'm back in the situation where I see myself getting married again because this is what I want.
Right.
And like, yeah, I did it the first time, but it wasn't right, but I was ready.
Right,
But
right.
it helped me to see how to make sure that I make something last for a very long time.
Yeah, it taught you something.
Yeah, it taught me a lot. And I really seen and went for everything that I know I need.
Facts.
Not just what I want, what I need.
Right. Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
I think a lot of dudes can't really see past that. And I feel like that's what's so messed up, like right now with everybody that's single in the dating world. Like if you ask your partners or if you ask a lady, they'll tell you, oh, it's trash out here. Everybody won't do them, and nobody want to really be in a real relationship, and they can't find nobody they could trust or somebody who could be faithful. And I think it's because like society has messed up what they have portrayed to us the ideal man or the ideal woman should be.
Yeah.
So now I got everybody head messed up what they seeing people on social media be like, and nobody is up to anybody's standards, right? So like nobody can't even give each other a chance to see if they are truly what each other needs, versus what they want. You know what I mean? I think sometimes people can't get out of their own way to really see that. Like people missing out on love and really being in real healthy, strong relationships because of that very reason. And, I'm thankful that like, I was able to find my person early on in life to where like I missed that phase of where life is at now. Cause I try to imagine like if I was single, like how it'd probably be.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, I'd probably be on some player shit just cause of how crazy things are out here, right? But, like I said, naturally though, I'm that guy like where, even if I wasn't married, I'd probably be in different relationships trying to see like trying to find who's that person for me. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, I don't know if I'm old school, bro, or just from a different area, a different planet.
Yeah,
but
because that's just how it was. And it was like, once you really know what you looking for and not just going off what you want, what you know you really need and really going to help you be lifted in every way, then you'll be able to find that.
Yeah,
but
for real.
People don't be trying to look for that, though.
Yeah, because like you might be looking for the chick who like she got the perfect BBL. You know what I'm saying? And her body might naturally be like that, but who is she in the inside?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And who could she be to help uplift you and make you a better person? You know what I mean? So it's like, it and it's tough to say like, oh, you gonna have that chick that's the total package of all of those things. You know what I mean? But it's like, you really gotta look deep down and like figure out like what you really want and what you really need. And and find those two and match those two things together.
Right.
You
Got
know what I
to.
mean? And I think we just gotta stop being so shallow. You know what I mean? And really look to see who people really truly are. You know, because I feel like that's the real beauty within people, like who they are deep down inside versus who they are on the outside.
Yeah.
You know what
Who
I
they
mean?
portray.
For real. Yeah, man.
Because it's easy for people to portray who they want to be and don't really be that.
Right. Like this perception, like, you know what I mean? Like right now, I'm rock fresh, you know what I mean? This is me. But
Yeah.
you know, when I get up, I gotta go to work, I got a job, you know, I gotta be a dad, you know what I mean? So and I'm rock fresh and I'm being exactly who the spirit inside of me is exuding out right now. Like I'm not being no different from everybody else who know me, you know what I
Right.
mean? So I just think that, like, you know, I wish everybody would be that same way.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like just being authentic, like organic to who you are, is what make you special, and is the reason why people rock with you.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Because you stay true to yourself. You don't try to be nothing that you're not. You know, and I feel like that's.
And people usually pick out when you're being fake.
Oh yeah, they
And
can
nobody
easily
want to
tell.
deal with that.
Yeah, bro. That's why it's like it's just easy to just be yourself. But like I said, society, how you messed up, perception on social media, feel like you gotta be like this, you gotta be like that.
Whole image thing. You gotta
Yeah.
change up who you really are
No, for real,
to
bro.
be
Like
satisfying to other people.
I'm telling you, dog. Like I remember in high school, like I had a little phase where, like, oh, I want to be a bad boy. I want to sell drugs. I want to sell weed. I want to do this and that. Woo de woo. And that's not for me.
Right.
That was never me. You know what I'm saying? So and little chicks like it, whatever. Cool. You got a little attention or whatever. But certain chicks I knew that I was cool with, like, oh, so you a bad boy now? Or this
Right.
who you think you is? Woo de woo. It's like that was never me.
Yeah.
And I tried that, and then quickly found out, like, hey, this life not for me. You know what I mean? And went back to being who I really am. So
Right.
but I feel like, that's life, bro. Like that's trial and error. Like we all go through those phases as men. Like, we think that's, because the guy who does that, like he the cool guy, he get all the chicks, he got the money, he got the, he got the gear, everything. You know what I mean? But really,
But who
dog,
else are you?
you can have all that if you just be yourself, bro.
Yeah.
And that really was a lesson that taught me.
Because at the end of the day, you got all that stuff, but who else are you? Other than
Facts.
that, what are you?
Like when you take all that off,
Yeah,
who are you at the end of the day?
And a lot of people don't know.
They don't know who they are. And that's the sad part. Everybody out here walking around lost.
Yeah.
And that's why people can't find love. They can't find each other. They can't figure their life out. Everybody's pretending to be something they're not. So it's tough.
How important do you feel like it is just for men to really talk? Like women do it all the time, but like we don't talk at all.
Man, it's so important that you said that, bro, because it just got me back thinking. You watched The Shy?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So I like how they had like the little men's circle,
Oh,
when
yeah,
they get
I love
together
that
at the
too.
crib,
Yeah.
And it had like I posted one day like, man, I'm doing the same thing.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have a group of guys come to my crib. We're gonna eat and we just gonna talk and we just gonna, just talk about real life, unfiltered, no cameras, no nothing, just, get things off our chest because like mental health and black men is real.
Yeah.
And we are the biggest like gender and race that's dying from mental health issues because we keep so much bottled up. But it go back to what I said about society and how what they have portrayed on us, what they think a man should be. Like a man should be tough, a man should be strong, a man shouldn't cry, a man, shouldn't do all of these things, right? So like we've been conditioned like that. Even think about sports, right? Like you playing football, you playing basketball, you gotta, shrug that shit off and get back up and, do your thing. Otherwise you soft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that whole time we've been conditioned like that. We've been bottling stuff up, never expressing our feelings and our emotions. And then when it become too much, we lash out, we kill somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or we hurt somebody severely and do something that change our life where now our whole life is messed up. Now we behind bars or whatever the case may be, versus like really understanding like the power of therapy. You know what I mean? And even if like you ain't gonna talk to a real therapist, like how we talking right now, you know what I mean? Like talk to somebody, and I feel like that's really a big issue for black men in our community. And we gotta do better, bro. Like we gotta get out our own way, dog, and find a way to heal from just having those conversations with each
Yeah.
other, man. Because it's real, bro.
A lot
And
of people are very angry.
bro, they got a lot of dudes walking up with pent up anger, bitterness, hatred in their heart, just because they just felt like their life was dealt, a bad deal of cards, and it's true. Like I
Yeah.
got partners that life wasn't easy for them, and they've been dealt a bad hand, but I respect that like they still get up every day and they try to do the best that they can for themselves.
Yeah.
But even them still don't get a chance to express like everything that they're going through and really heal from it so that they could evolve and so that they could grow and be bigger than what their situation is. You know what I mean? So bro, like that's so real, bro. Like I don't know if there's like I don't know what needs to be done, but I definitely want to be someone that is an advocate for that. And I
Right.
want to start to like really have those conversations and continue to build from there. Like I got a partner who got a mental disability and he's in jail now. Like he killed his father. And it was one of my best friends I grew up with, played basketball with. And just to see like that happen really like broke me. And that was
Yeah.
one of the biggest things that like lit a fire under me is like, man, I need to do something about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I watched my partner like really change right before my eyes and like be a totally different person. And really he got diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia. And I don't know if it was over the years from him being depressed about certain things, or I don't know if it was a condition that he always had since we was kids and I ain't know.
Right.
Or if it was like from him, doing a lot of drugs, a lot of smoking and drinking, and then it turned into like a chemical imbalance in his brain that then, later caused him to be diagnosed with having this bipolar schizophrenia, but I literally witnessed him have several episodes in front of me, and I'm like, dang, it's crazy. This is not my partner. Like,
Right.
this is my dude, man. And, I hate to see that, what he did, having that condition, what those actions led to for him and where he's at now, bro. And seeing something like that really broke my heart. So it's like I don't want to see that continue to happen.
And it really happened fast too.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. It happened fast.
Yeah, man.
Cause that's one thing, like you said, I think we really are conditioned to hold things in for us to lash out and then do things that we shouldn't be doing for us to end up in jail.
Facts.
Like like you said earlier, like we really are conditioned like that, and it's very unfortunate. But I guess the world got us with it. Well, somebody got to do it.
Somebody got to do it, and I feel like it started with us. It started with our generation, like making that shift, making that change from how we coaching our kids on the field to how we coaching them on the court to how we, raising them at home and preparing them for school. The foundation starts at that early age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because I feel like that's where it started for us. That anger and aggression was like put inside of us.
Everything started in childhood.
You know what I mean? To be a certain way. You know what I mean? And I feel like you could still be a dog. You could still have that savage in you, but still understand how to regulate your emotions and, be able to express yourself and be able to heal and grow. It's a delicate thing, but I think if we could train our kids up now, they can understand like, okay, when I get in this game, there's a certain mentality I need to have. I need to have that Mamba mentality. But after the game, I need to leave that back and just be like a regular human being. Like be who I am, be a decent, good person. Like Kobe Bryant was a great human being, right? But he knew on that court I need to be Mamba.
Right.
But he knew off that court he needed to be Kobe Bryant for his wife and for his kids. He need to be dad. You know what I mean? So it's like understanding those hats and how to turn them off, but still be like a healed person. You know what I mean? And I think it's not gonna be easy, but we got to start somewhere.
Cause we can't bring that unhealed trauma to our kids.
No, we can't. Like I said earlier, that shit trickled down.
Yeah.
It trickled down, bro. And then that's the whole reason why, and for women too, like we all walking around unhealed. And then we complain about they ain't got no good people out here
but we
to
ain't
be
looking
with.
at ourselves, though.
Yeah, but we gotta fix ourselves first. You gotta look yourself in the mirror and figure out, well, what's wrong with you? Like, do you have an attitude problem? Are you always mad? Are you always depressed? Or, what issues do you have and that, is causing there to be relationship problems for you with other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think if we start to do that, then we can actually start figuring out who we need or who we want and blending the two and finding our person. You know what I mean? So that's a whole nother issue in itself right there.
It's something very simple to do, but it's hard at the same time.
Oh yeah, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done. And I think for Black people in our community, we haven't been equipped like with the knowledge to understand how to self-cope, to understand how to self-regulate, to understand how to, deal with our emotions, and to even be promoted to be pushed to seek therapy. Like, in our society, like in our community, going to a therapist, like, oh, you crazy, like something wrong with you, like you psycho. It's like we have to normalize like going to therapy and seeking counsel and seeking help. You know what I mean? So
at the end of the day, all of us crazy. All of us crazy.
Yeah, we got, it's a certain level of crazy we got to us, but I feel like you still gotta be able to, like, kind of regulate that and tame that craziness. There's a good kind of crazy, and there's a bad kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's a healthy balance. You don't want to have too much of nothing. You know what I mean? Too much of any one or the other.
But what made you want to start your clothing line? What was the motivation for you to start all this?
Man, craziest thing, bro. The motivation was my son. You know, man. I always had a love for fashion, bro. Like since I was I think the real spark hit for me when I was like maybe 12, 13. I started getting into shoes and sneakers, and like my mom, she never really had the bread to really get me the J's and the kind of clothes I really wanted. So like I started washing cars and like saving my bread over the summer and buying my own shoes and clothes and all that. Back then when we was young, like FUBU and Rockaway and all that. Like that was, the stuff we was wearing. And it just stuck with me. I always loved streetwear. And I always thought like in my head, like, growing up even from that age, I was gonna have my own brand. And I was going to eventually have my own store one day, sell my own clothes and shoes and stuff like that. But, the matriculation through life, it wasn't until having my son that really was like that real big motivator for me. Because I was like, how I'm going to look my son in his eyes and say, man, follow your dreams, do whatever you want. And I ain't do it for myself.
Right.
So how I'm going to even show him how to go and start his own business, whatever he want to do with his life, if I ain't jump off the porch and do mine. So like in 2020, when my son was born, or when I found out my girl was pregnant, and then I was like, yeah, the time is now. So like I came out, my first drop was Mardi Gras. And it was crazy because like this was like right before COVID hit. And then the next year, that's when I did the hockey jerseys, and COVID had shut Mardi Gras down.
Right.
But I still was like, forget it. I'm going to still drop something. I dropped this video and it went viral. Yeah, posted on Neutral Grounds and everything. And I was like, it was like the real kickoff, real starter for me with the brand. But man, I always, like when I was in college, me and my partners, we had a brand called OG. It was called Original Garment Company. And we used to throw OG parties like at Southern, LSU, UL. And, we was popping, man. We had a real wave going, but, it's tough. Like you start a business with your friends and, money get involved and, things get mishandled, and it's like, it could tarnish relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
But we had a great wave. Like all of us was creative. All of us had our own, influence, and we had a good thing. Like I look back at it now, like, cause we started our brand, like when World and Vision started theirs. If we would have stuck with it, we'd probably be as big as them now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think a lot of us was like immature and still trying to find our own way. You know what I mean? And I was the one who kind of broke us up because I didn't like how things was being handled business wise. And then things just kind of fell apart from there.
Yeah.
But, we all still partners. We all still cool. It's all, it's all still love. I think it was a learning lesson for us all. But I think it was something that was good for me to see, to figure out how I needed to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And I still, even when we started it, I was making like sketches for Rock Fresh, like back in like 2013, 2014. Like I got stuff that I drew and designed like way back then. But mind you, I ain't started till 2020. I even went to fashion school. After I graduated from Dillard in 2014, I got my bachelor's in marketing. I started working for Dillard as an admissions counselor and recruiter. I was traveling all over the country recruiting kids to the school. But during that time, I went to grad school like in 2017, 2018, and I got my master's in fashion marketing from this school called LIM College in New York. Even graduated at Carnegie Hall, and great program. It was another like motivation push for me, confidence boost to like go ahead and do my thing. But even still, after that, bro, 2 years later, I finally do it because then I see like, man, I'm about to have a kid,
Yeah.
and like ain't no way like I don't do this. And I'm looking at him like, yeah, go be who you want to be. You know, you
Yeah.
can be whoever you want to be. You can follow your dreams, but I'm sitting here and never follow mine. And I ain't never want to have those regrets on my heart. You know what I mean? So he was the real key to me starting Rock Fresh, and you know, I'm glad I finally did it.
Yeah. It's nice though, man. For real.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
It's only go up from here.
Yeah,
Like-
facts. Facts, dog. You know, and the whole thing, you know, like you know me, you know my partners call me J Rock, and that always came from hooping. Like, you know, from when I was playing at Og, like that was something like my teammates started calling me, then the coach started calling me, and then it just became a thing. It just stuck. And then like I said, I always was a love of being fresh. Like, you know, when, you know, whatever was the dopest gear at the time, whatever shoes it was, like I always was clean. You know, when we was going to a game, the movies, the mall, whatever we was doing back in high school, you know,
Right.
during them days, I always jumped fresh. And so I just paired the two together, you know what I mean? And so that's how you have Rock Fresh. But like that is like on the surface, like, you know, underneath that, Rock Fresh has a deeper meaning. So like it's an acronym where it stands for like remembering our culture for reasons everyone should have. So like a lot of things that like I try to do with the brand is like nostalgic, like it's a remembrance of paying homage to things of our culture from New Orleans, or just, you know, general Black culture, pop culture, things that we're familiar with, things that we know. You know, like this jacket I have on right now, like this is a Rock Fresh Super Bowl jacket, and I designed like all these patches from all of the times that the Super Bowl came to New Orleans. So the Super Bowl came to New Orleans 10 times. This is the 11th time this time. But in remembrance of that, I changed some of the logos and made it Rock Fresh Bowl, right? Based on the times that it came to the city. And that's just a way of me like paying homage and remembering like, man, that's dope. That's so great. Like we had a Super Bowl hosting our city 10 times, you know what I mean? And now it's the 11th time. And, you know, it's looking like this is about to be one of the biggest Super Bowls that's ever been had in history.
Yeah, it's,
you know,
it's
so
big.
That's just something that like I try to do with my brand, and to like give it a deeper meaning than just like, oh, that's J Rock, oh, he be fresh, or oh, I get it, it's Rock Fresh, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It's deeper than just me, you know, and it's bigger than me.
Right.
And you know, and I want people to see that.
Everything always bigger than us, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Most definitely.
What question you have for me?
Man, what question? So look, D, you know,
What's
like I met you, bro, just like hooping. You know what I mean? But like what's the story behind you hooping? Like what, like when we start hooping, I'm like, dog, this dude nice. Like, you know what I mean? Like
the story.
Dude coming down, he could hit from wherever. He blocking shots, he getting steals. He like you could do it all.
Right.
But like what's your background with hooping? Like where you played at? You know, where it took you when you stopped, and give me the rundown, bro.
The rundown me hooping. So I started bitty basketball, paid for punch train. You remember William Weathers, Mo? So I played with him, and you know Kyle White. Kyle cut hair.
Kyle, yeah.
And it was me, Kyle, Renard, Smitty.
Smitty, yeah, I know Smitty.
It was
Smitty
me, Kyle, Smitty, Jonathan Thomas,
JT,
Bernard, JT,
JT
Bernard
nice.
Smith, and Kyle and Mo.
Bernard, yep,
it was us. Us six
yeah.
punch train. And then I got on the Bitty All-Star team with Will York, JT, Jonathan Thomas, Steve Logan, Javier Bush, like
Javier, yeah, I know Javier too.
Everybody.
I remember Javier played at Newman in high school, yeah.
So I was new on the team, so I was riding the bench, so I seen everybody because you know they was always on the team together with DJ Lewis.
Oh yeah, so, DJ who played at Jesuit.
At Jesuit.
Yeah.
So like I was just watching all of them playing ball with them. So then I was about to, when we went to high school, I was about to go to Carr. So I was about to play with them. Then a hurricane hit because that was my freshman year. So then I went to North Crowley. You remember Willie Warren?
That name sound familiar.
Yeah, he played for the Clippers.
Oh,
He went to
damn.
Oklahoma and played for the Clippers. So I got on that basketball team my freshman year. Then I left there, went to Atlanta, got on the basketball team, both teams in Atlanta. And I came back out here
Damn.
at Covington. So when I was in Atlanta, I'm playing the 2 guard.
Right.
Come out here, they got me playing center.
Center, yeah.
So I'm like,
Crazy.
oh Lord, I don't want to do this. So then that's when my confidence went down, but at the same time, I still had the skill level for all 5 positions. So like you said, I come down, shoot the jumper. I know how to play off the ball. I know how to block shots.
For real.
All that come from me playing from 1 through 5 my whole life.
Damn.
So it's like now that I stopped playing. Well, I didn't really stop playing. I still be playing in leagues and all that. But it's just like the fact that I know from playing with all these different people and paying attention, I learned different things from everybody. Then watching the game too. And it's like my basketball IQ just got high. So then that's what you got now.
So tell me, like, what's the part where, like, because it sound like you moved around a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
But like the transition from like high school to college, like, did you play college ball? Did you?
When I got to UNO, they asked me to try for the team, but I was just playing intramural. So I didn't even try for the team. And then once I dropped out of school, that's when it was a wrap. I was just going playing with y'all at UNO all the time. Went from there.
Dude.
Yeah,
bro, you had some talent, bro.
But
you really should have kept trying to go, bro.
And the crazy thing is, everybody always asked me. They was like, "Dog, you could have just went straight and played overseas or something." But I was like, my confidence level, like growing up, the fact of me playing, like I told you before, when I got on the Biddy All-Star team, I was watching everybody, so I was on the bench. So I seen like, okay, I'm probably better than him. Right. I'm probably better than him too. But me knowing I'm the new person, I ain't gonna play. So me understanding and seeing that, it messed with my confidence. Then, like I told you, when I come from my confidence being high in Atlanta playing the 2 guard, coming down here playing center, my that confidence is gone.
Everything. Yeah, that crushed a lot of players down here because it's a smaller circuit down here with hooping when you talking size.
Exactly.
So like you got a lot of big dudes who like their game get diminished because they not learning the guard play because they needed to play big man down here.
Exactly.
Where like that hindered them on the next level. I watched that happen.
It happens a lot out here.
I watched that happen, and I hate to see that, and the whole confidence thing too, which I feel like our generation got to change, you know, too, with our kids, and you know what I mean, watching them hoop and training them. That's big, bro, because like that whole trajectory changed like the outcome of your life. Like you keep that confidence, and maybe we not talking right here. You know what I'm saying? And so like that's just crazy because bro, you got that ability, son. You got that size. Like you special, bro.
Right.
And like I'm like, that's why I wanted to know your story behind hooping. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, what happened? I definitely think the moving around a lot, you know, and then just the will to not continue to try like after even college.
And that comes with my work ethic too, because like I said, once that confidence changed, my work ethic, like, bro, I already know I ain't gonna be, or I don't think I'm gonna be how I could be. So man, I ain't even gonna work hard to do it. Because my mind already was mentally out of it. But then once I get to UNO, I'm doing things better than I was doing 2 years ago.
Because as you get older, your game evolves.
Exactly.
And you get better.
You're right.
And then when you start hooping at that level, you're like, bro, I could have kept going. And then that window start to like close. Like you're getting older and you like, you know, so like the idea of just letting it go just is there.
Right.
But you know Slim, you know Myron? His name Slim Stupid on Instagram. He used to play for Dillon.
I probably know if I see him. I know a lot of people if I see him.
I'm pretty sure you hooped in the gym with him before, but like Myron is that example, bro, of like that relentless like spirit to like never give up on ball. Like he never gave. I watched this dude work hard for years, bro. Like from hooping at Dillon. He used to play at 35. He's a little older than us. But even after Dillon, bro, like he would still just come around and hoop. You know, he worked the job just like we did, but he still hooped. Always was in the gym, always playing in like intramural leagues, always playing in men's leagues. And bro, like dude just never gave up on his dream, bro. And like maybe like a few years ago, he finally cracked. And I'm talking like he in his like mid-30s. And
Right.
he finally hooping like on a professional level overseas, hooping in different countries. And I think he hooping somewhere right now. But like I watched this dude, bro, like just never give up on his dream. But when I'm talking about like confidence could have been diminished so many times,
Mm-hmm.
but he was always a dog. Like any gym he come in, you won't pick him. Like
Right.
he lights out. Like, and like to see him really live out his dream, bro, is like it show you like if you would have never gave up, like you could be the same way. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that go for anybody. Like I watched Slim, like, you know, he had a little son and everything. His son is old, and now he had his son young when we was in school, and his son balling out. But like dude just never gave up, bro. And I commend him for that. You know what I'm saying? Cause like
It's easy
some
to
dudes,
give
you
up.
know, like bro, like when you had that ability, sometimes that's all you got. Like that's your ticket. You know what I mean? And Slim was that dude where like as hard as he worked in school or as much as he tried, like he was one of them cats. Like if he don't play ball, like ball is it.
Yeah.
And I feel like he knew that too. Like he never gave up on that. And I'm like, and this dude like he at that age was like, bro too old to be hooping. Like, you know, for
Right.
most people, like professionally, like nah, he too old, but like all them years he never was really playing, his legs probably fresh. Even though he got
Right.
older, he still was working out, still was hooping, always stayed in the gym, and now that boy been balling professionally for the last few years. So that's why I was just like, man, cause you give me that feeling like, bro, if you would have stuck with it, I could have seen you doing the same thing. You know what I mean?
I knew I could have, but it was like once I dropped out of school and I realized that how else I could make money and other things I could do, I wasn't really pressed
once
on it
that
no more.
moment hit for us as men, that's what changed everything. Yeah,
It
once
do.
we start being able to touch money and do and live our life our own way, all of that go out the window, man.
But it do have me see how to handle like, cause like I said, I've been coaching my son team, but it's like it just had me see where to start with them, and for when he gets to older, how to make sure, all right, if you need money through college, I'm gonna help you out. Make sure if this is what you want to do, we gonna do this.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, I'm putting you in every spot to make this happen.
Facts. And you're gonna make sure his confidence stay up.
Yeah.
You're gonna put him in the best situation possible. And it's like that's what we paved the way. You know, we go through what we go through to be better for them. You know, and that's the beauty of it, man. So I had to ask you that, bro. I had to ask you that. But my next question though is, what made you want to start the podcast, man? Like, what made you want to get into it and do it? And how long have you been doing it?
I released the first episode in March last year.
Okay.
So it's about to be a year next month.
Fire.
And it was just me I went through my divorce and just talking to my girl about it, and me just wanting to give a space for people to talk and understand like what you said, like everything you said about your story with like how you was raised about your pops, how you was raised with older sisters that was way older than you, how you have the motivation from your family and your son, from you being a married man, just dealing with relationships throughout your life, and then you just interpreting being who you are.
Right.
So it's like a lot of people could relate to that.
Facts.
A lot of people could relate to everything you said.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, and that's just what made me want to start this, just giving people a place to know like you ain't going through this stuff alone.
Facts. I feel that, bro, because when I said I was a relationship dude and then you told me the same thing, like that made me feel good. Like, you know, we had a kindred spirit, and that like you was the same type of way as me, because like I don't meet a lot of dudes that's like me, and sometimes like I lose hope because like real is rare. You know what I'm saying? So like when you meet like-minded people and they like, you know, not to say that other dudes not real because they don't live the same lifestyle I live.
It's just different.
But it's just different. You know what I mean? So like that made me feel good. And so like I appreciate you saying that, bro. Like giving people the space, the platform to like speak and, you know, tell a story and get things off their chest. And because it's a whole world out there. There's over 8 billion people out there. So there's somebody who either went through what you went through or understand or could sympathize or feel the same thing that you're saying, because they the same way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I think that's the beauty of like the flip side to like the pros of like social media and the internet, you know, having this ability to connect with a bunch of people in different areas. on situations like this.
And
So,
they might not want to talk about it or don't know how to.
right.
So if you hear it, it'd be like, okay.
And then this will give somebody the confidence to, like, even if they don't go on a podcast, might, like, dudes who might watch this be like, man, you know, I'm gonna talk to my partners and, you know what I mean, really, you know, see if we could get stuff off our chest. Like, let's be real. You know, a lot of times your partners, it just be a juice.
Yeah.
They just be joking and nobody ever really talk about nothing serious, nothing real, like getting money together. You know, bro, like what be on your mind, bro? Like you ever get depressed? Like you ever be feeling bad? Like, you know, where your head be at? You know what I mean? Like I had times I talked to my partners, like with my old lady in college. I felt like they had an issue with my old lady and she was older than me. Like she was like 4 years older than me. I was like 18, she was like 21.
Yeah.
It was like 3 years older than me, whatever. But I feel like they had an issue with my old lady. So like I was always like more mature. Like I sat my partners down. I was like, man, let's just run it. We sat on the porch. I'm like, just tell me like what the issue is. Like what problem y'all have with her. You know, like what the deal is. Cause I feel like y'all be saying stuff behind my back. Y'all be doing this and that. And we really hashed it out like men and really all like talk and had an understanding.
Everything simple as a
You know what I
conversation.
mean? I even
bro.
had my partners be real with me and tell me like, man, why they wanted to be my friend. Like, cause they was using me for their own gain. You know what I mean? Like just being real, like, well, you was this type of dude, so I wanted to be like this. Or you had this, so I wanted to have the same thing too. Or da-da-da-da. And I'm like, dang, you know, it's crazy.
Because some people look up to you. You don't
Yeah,
realize it.
yeah, bro. And it's like, you know, and so I appreciated that. You know, the fact that everybody was able to be real about how they felt about her, how they felt about me, why they even chose to be my partner, be around me. And, you know, that let me know, you know, how to move forward with them and how our relationship would grow as partners, you know. And so I feel like as men, you know, I hope that, you know, other dudes seeing this, like y'all had those same type of, you know, conversations with your partners. If you don't, you know, you should, you know what I mean? Because that can help y'all relationship go to another level. And then you never know where they take it for all y'all life. You know what I'm saying? Just personally.
Yeah. But look, man, the Rock Fresh website and description. So you can buy some merchandise.
Facts.
Appreciate you for doing this, bro.
Nah, I appreciate you, D, man. This was fun, bro. I appreciate this, dog. And I look forward to, you know, seeing your podcast grow, bro. Seeing, you know, you have other people come on and, you know, I wouldn't mind coming back on in the future as well, bro.
Hey, man, we having a podcast party, bro.
Thanks.
Another episode, man. Open, honest, vulnerable. Tune in next week. And this is the WeakLEE Podcast. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tune in next week.